All right, Rob, welcome to Big East College Hoops on FS1, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Be ready for anything winter throws at you. Marquette has won 3 of its last 4. They go gunning for their second top 10 win of the season against the first team in America to 20 wins, the 6th-ranked Musketeers of Xavier. Everybody chasing Villanova. We got a great day of hoops here on FS1 for you. Villanova and Providence follows this one as Xavier tries to move to 9-2. Sit there waiting and hoping for a Villanova loss as we welcome you courtside. Joe Davis, Dickie Simpkins, a couple of good teams going at it here, and a couple of the bright young stars in this conference. Take us through your game changes.
Well, you have Henry Ellison, the freshman who is dominating in the Big East. He plays inside and outside, very versatile. And then you have Trevon Bluiett, the sensational sophomore who is a scoring threat at all times.
They're part of these starting lineups sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. There's Marquette, Wilson, Cheatham, and Johnson in the backcourt. Fisher joins Ellison to make one of the top front courts in the conference. And noticeably absent from that Xavier lineup, Miles Davis, for the first time this season, does not start. It's a coach's decision. He is healthy. He will play, but it'll be off of the bench. Also coming off of the bench is James Farr, who in the first meeting between these teams did it to the tune of 16 points and a career-high 19 boards. And a 74-66 Xavier win January 16th in Milwaukee. This is the 67th meeting in a series that dates back to 1958. And off we go with Marquette having won 3 of its last 4 since losing 5 of 7 to open conference play. Here's Dewan Johnson playing really well lately. Hanif Cheatham.
Well, you see Marquette, they always try to establish the ball screen action and establish post-ups.
Cheatham for 3, and that's one thing Marquette needs to do well today, shoot it from the outside.
And it's always good to have a good start when you make that first shot. Feeling good about yourself, confidence is high.
Marquette already won top 10 win this year. They beat Providence at Providence on January 5th. Here's Edmund Sumner. Trevon Bluiett, his 3, ties the game. And then a foul with the ball going through. We're going to get Xavier to the foul underneath after this shot.
Well, here's my game changer. Trevon Bluiett can score. He's a threat at all times. You have to close out, make it tight and uncomfortable for him, because if you don't, any space he has, he's going to line up, lace it up, and knock it down.
They actually called Dwayne Wilson for the foul, shoving it looked like J.P. Macura down to the ground. So Xavier's got it. Bluiett finds Dylan Reynolds, who misses point blank.
Excellent interior pass by Bluiett. Reynolds has to finish that.
Musketeers trying to win their 5th in a row. 20-2. 8-2 in the conference. 1 game behind Villanova. Wildcats heading up to Providence after our game. Ellingson's hook shot cleared by Reynolds. Here's Edmund Sumner. Now Bluiett with a step back 2.
And they're going to try to take advantage of Bluiett being guarded by Ellison. Smaller. Bluiett plays like a small 4 and makes the opponent have to stretch their bigs out on defense.
Marquette had won 3 in a row before losing at Seton Hall on Wednesday. 79-62 in a game that was close for the first 30 minutes or so. Cheatham has 2 more from Marquette. He's got the first 5. Xavier beat St. John's Wednesday, 90-83. Johnny's still looking for that first conference win. Reynolds with a drop step and finish.
Joe, I said both teams will establish their paint presence on offense. You see Ellison inside. Now you saw Jalen Reynolds, nice post up.
Macura had to go off his forearm. Right back to Jawan Johnson, who's averaging 16 per game over his last 3.
And Jawan Johnson's role used to be come off the bench and add offense. Now he's back in the starting lineup. And Wojo is always playing with the starting lineup.
Reynolds, high arcing jumper off the front of the rim, and a foul on the rebound goes on X. How about your formula for success for Wojo's team?
Well, Wojo's team has to gang rebound. They're playing against a Xavier team that attacks the glass. They have to attack Xavier's 1-3-1 zone. And in transition, O and D is a strong part of Marquette's game.
You mentioned attacking the 1-3-1, which we've not seen Xavier go to yet. Ellenson misfires. When Chris Mack went to the 1-3-1 in the first meeting, Xavier ripped off a 21-0 run.
I've only seen a few teams in college basketball be able to run the 1-3-1 defense to perfection.
A lot of contact, no call. Bluiett left it short. Cheatham looks to run. Adib Cheatham bounces it off Macura. No inbound on this end. How about Xavier's formula for success?
Well, they have to contain Ellenson and Fisher. I mean, Marquette's going to go to those guys. They have to eliminate the transition, and then ball screen D will be important.
Ellenson got loose. Blown defense from Xavier that time, and he gets his first bucket.
That's just miscommunication. Bluiett and Sumner, miscommunication on how they were going to defend the ball screen.
Miles Davis already coming to the scores table as Sumner stuffs it down.
Trevon Bluiett is an improved passer to add to his scoring ability. Nice execution with Sumner running off, finding him for the dunk.
Ellenson hands off for Johnson. A step back against Macura, who's contested well and rebounded by Reynolds. So many weapons on this Xavier team. 4 players averaging double figures. 6 averaging at least 8.5. The foul on the drive goes on Cheatham. There's Miles Davis. Looks like he'll be ready to check in on the other side of this break. One of those many weapons for Xavier. Down 9-7. Henry Ellenson, one of the top draft prospects in the country, one of the top freshmen in the country. This is last weekend against Butler. Career high 32. It was the most for a Marquette player since a guy named Dwayne Wade went off to 35 in a game back in 2002. This freshman averaging a double-double on the season.
Well, Henry Ellenson has an unbelievable skill package. He's so versatile. He can post up. He can play on the perimeter. You saw him using his skill hand, being able to switch hands, use the left-hand jump hook. It's an added value to have a big who has so much versatility in today's game.
And he'll take a quick rest. Leads the team in minutes. This is a rare thing, him sitting down. Get it in the early going. Miles Davis fresh into the game for Xavier. Coming off of the bench for the first time this season. He's got it. Enters it into Reynolds. Tried to feed a cutting Bluiett. Was knocked away. Something Marquette does pretty well. Forced turnovers.
And you'll see both teams will bring a double team once they drop it down in their post. They're not going to let each other's posts be able to have isolation.
Cheatham turned it over. Who wants it? Sumner.
Hashtag special delivery.
Second dunk of the game for Edmund Sumner, who had 15 in the first meeting. In his first game back from concussion, he suffered against Villanova on New Year's Eve.
He's such an exciting freshman.
He's got it here.
Has quickness, explosion, length,
and versatility.
And when you're feeling it, you come down in transition. You call that a transition pull-up J. This kid is special. He'll be a star in this league. He's already building. Has so many qualities that he can do that affects the game.
Luke Fisher finds Tracy Carter. Dwayne Wilson steps into a 3, and Marquette's knocked down its first 2 outside shots.
Well, Coach Wojo has changed the lineup at certain periods of time during the season. I like it. It challenges the guys, letting guys know you're never comfortable, and he has Wilson back in the starting lineup.
Sumner, a little bit too strong this time, but you're right. He sure is feeling it right now.
Oh, that's his move. That's his patented crossover step back.
Wilson can't hit. Xavier takes it in a 12-12 game.
Just a nice defense. Bluiett giving the ball up. The explosion, putting it on his back.
Bluiett defended by Ellenson. James Farr, 16 and 19 in the first meeting between these teams. It hits his first shot today.
Well, there's a reason why this Musketeer team is 6th in the country. Inside presence, outside presence, explosive guards, and then you have James Farr, who doesn't start for this team, but he plays starter minutes, and he can play inside, outside, as you saw him knock down the baseline J.
Obviously, the Xavier fans are familiar with his career arc. He used to be a guy that drifted out to the perimeter, struggled out there, but has embraced playing inside this year as a senior. It has been fantastic.
Yes, he's made a conscious effort. But you see Macura getting in there scoring. Farr's made a conscious effort to improve his inside game.
7 fast break points for the Musketeers. They worked on fast breaks during practice yesterday extensively. And the carry.
Well, Joe, both teams are explosive in transition. They both like to get out and attack. I like the fact they kick the ball up court.
Slow Joe, second year at Marquette. They've already surpassed last year's win total. Went 13 and 19 last year with a roster that has just 8 scholarship players. Rebuilding things. They're still one of the youngest teams in the conference. Underclassmen accounting for more than 70% of their scoring.
Well, Coach Wojo, to be early in his coaching career, has done an excellent job with this Marquette team.
Bluiett, second three.
That's what he does. Catch and shoot.
Sandy Cohen, Henry Ellenson. Ellenson ducks under and drops it in.
I like the patience and the poise from the freshman, getting in on the post-up, watching the double team come, taking his time, and still being effective offensively.
Macura, way too much. Offensive rebound, though. Miles Davis shares it with Farr. Set it up. Here's Bluiett against Ellenson. Another offensive rebound. This time Macura takes advantage and will shoot a pair.
J.P. Macura, one of my favorite players in college basketball. The reason why is not because he can shoot the ball well, but all the other things he does. Scrappy, gets his nose in there in the paint to get rebounds. Being aggressive, has a knack. I mean, I like this kid. Normally, you look at shooters that only shoot the ball, but Macura does so many things. Defensively, offensively, passing the ball. He's only a sophomore, and he plays with confidence like he's a veteran player.
Double figures in 3 straight for him. 1 of 2 at the line. Rebound Cohen. Cheatham for 3. Marquette with a hot start from outside.
Cheatham starting off the game very confident with his three-point ability. Knocking down 2 already.
Went 2 for 9 in their game on Wednesday in Newark. For those pair of triples over the first half of this opening half. Larry Austin gets doubled and travels. And that brings us to the under 12 timeout. Xavier up by 3. James Farr, 16 points, 19 boards in the first meeting. We'll give us some tips on the glass when we come back.
My name is James Farr, senior power forward for Xavier University, and I'm going to show you my key concepts of rebounding. So Xavier shooting in the opposite corner, and I'm in the paint area. If he shoots, I know more than likely if he misses, it's going to end up on this side of the rim. Like that, you see that like that? My man's right next to me, and we're blocking each other out for the rebound. My main thing is I'm going to try and get as low as I can, and I'm going to root him over and shoot the ball. So that way, if he does get me, either way it goes, I want him on my back anyways. Rebounding for me is all effort and all heart. You know, I don't really think it's all skill or anything like that. Just who wants the ball more. So whoever wants the ball and how physical you are illegally, and just try and get your man out. I mean, the ball will come to you, and just do yourself a good position to just get a rebound.
James Farr breaking the art of rebounding down in an excellent form. It's not about athleticism. It's about anticipation, positioning, effort, and heart. Joe, I played with one of the best rebounders in NBA, Dennis Rodman, and he just knew how to go get the ball.
James Farr called for the foul there. Yeah, what was it about Rodman? It was simple knack?
It's just a knack. It's just anticipation, knowing, just like James Farr said, when the shot goes up from one side, 9 times out of 10, it's usually going to bounce far on the other side. And he's already ready. He's wedging his body down low. And then you have to have the effort and heart to be able to rebound out of your area as well as in your area.
Luke Fisher with a hook shot. He was held scoreless for the first time in his Marquette career 2 games ago, and then a nice bounce-back game on Wednesday with a team-high 17 against Seton Hall. Xavier turns it over. Carter trying to feed Cheatham. Austin hustling back to knock it out of bounds.
Well, that was good transition defense by Larry Austin. Getting back, sprint back, and at least get your hand on it to deflect it out of bounds.
Here is Fisher. Coach Wojciechowski wants him to think, shoot first. It's it back from Cohen. And the hook shot is short, defended by James Farr. Farr pops baseline. And pops a shot. As box out Ellenson to get the board. Marquette shooting above 50% so far. In the first meeting between these teams, a season low 34% from the field. And an offensive foul. Hanif Cheatham called for number 2.
And that's just Miles Davis, the veteran player, knowing how to get his position and move his feet and stay on the ground, stay solid on defense.
As we mentioned, it was that 1-3-1 that turned the game in the first meeting. Marquette got out to a 15-6 advantage. And Xavier used that 1-3-1 to go on a 21-0 run. Marquette had an 8-minute scoring drought during that stretch. We've not seen Chris Mack go to the 1-3-1 yet. Miles Davis way outside. And Ellenson boxes out Farr.
Well, Joe, I expect to see that 1-3-1 get in effect at some point in time in this first half.
Carter knocks down a jumper and puts Marquette in front.
Tracy Carter's been playing well as of lately. He's feeling much more confident with his jump shot. And if you're not an excellent three-point shooter, you want to try to master the mid-range game, which he did right there, pull up off the bounce.
Headed the other way, where they foul on Farr, number 2 on him.
That's his second personal foul on the team foul for the Musketeers.
Well, they're going to clean up the physicality in the post. Ellison trying to move around, doing an excellent job on post defense. And Farr just a little extra with his hands. And then Joe, the 1-3-1 is out now.
And trying to shoot him right out of it. There's Dwayne Wilson with a 3-ball.
And I said in the formulas for success, attack that 1-3-1.
Oh, the rejection from Fisher.
Security, protect my house.
And Ellenson with the follow from Fisher. Marquette on a 14-1 run.
Luke Fisher with good energy, being active defensively with the block, and then post-lane sprinting to follow up the offensive rebound.
Carter gambled. Sumner tried to make him pay. Davis finds Bluiett. His threes off the mark. Carter trying to counter. Sandy Cohen. Wow. Marquette is on fire. A 17-1 run for the Golden Eagles and a timeout for Chris Mack.
Well, this Marquette team has been playing well as of lately. They're feeling it. They're knocking down shots that go along with their inside offense. Marquette establishing a 9-point lead, and reason why Fisher's block shot, and then Fisher running the court to follow up the offensive rebound, and now Marquette filling it. Cohen lining it up, 3-ball corner pocket.
Cohen's only been averaging about 3 per game over the last several weeks. Matches that on his first shot of the day. See who answers for Xavier. Bluiett crossing over on Ellenson, finding Sumner. His 3 is good. There's the immediate answer for Xavier.
To be a young player, a freshman who can play the point guard with his size and length, can knock down shots, catch his shooting off the bounce, and with explosiveness. This kid is really special, Sumner.
Both teams shooting well from outside. There's Ellenson showing off his outside game with a long 2.
And that's his game. Marquette trying to find isolations, a mismatch on the defensive part on who's guarding Ellenson, and that pick and pop freedom for a jump shot.
Macura hangs one over Fisher.
Nice floater, nice aggressive move, body control and touch.
And they force Ellenson to inbound the ball. Dwayne Wilson was asking the official, Jeffrey Anderson, stop it for me. My shoe came off. He's still trying to put his shoe back on.
Yeah, I mean, Xavier, that's what you have to do. Go ahead and double team him. Man is down, trying to fix his shoe. You got to double team him.
And they do take a timeout. At the 7:14 mark. Turns into the immediate timeout in a 6-point game. Tonight, 2 welterweight knockout artists collide. Former champion Johnny Hendricks and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson with a heavyweight showdown as well. Nelson and Rossholm. UFC Fight Night. It's live and it's free tonight, 7 Eastern, only on FS1. It's a 19-6 Marquette run with a 6-point lead over the number 6 team in the country. Joe Davis, Dickie Simpkins back in Cincy as Marquette looks for its second top 10 win of the season.
Well, Joe, I know my game changers were Henry Ellison and Trevon Bluiett, but 2 of the guys are watching this game that can affect it also is Edmund Sumner with Xavier and Jawan Johnson with Marquette. Sumner actually winning that battle as of now.
Ellison gave up his dribble. Wilson gave it back to him over Bluiett. And a rebound for Reynolds.
I'd like to see Ellison on those mismatches get a little bit closer to the basket.
Here's Sumner. Got fouled by Tracy Carter. First on Carter.
You know, both teams are trying to take advantage of that matchup. Ellison versus Bluiett. Marquette's trying to take advantage of the post-up.
Miles Davis off of the inbound play.
Miles Davis with a nice knockdown jump shot off the baseline out of bounds. And then Xavier's trying to take advantage of the mismatch on the perimeter with Bluiett.
Off of the pick and roll, it's Fisher against Bluiett with a size advantage. Macura helps. Baseline hook shot goes for Luke Fisher.
Excellent job. Patience and poise.
It's Sumner in a hurry right back into Carter. He's caused Carter to pick up back-to-back fouls to go back to that Fisher bucket.
Well, he takes his time. See if the defense is collapsing. One dribble spin with the right-hand jump hook. He wasn't in a rush. He wasn't erratic. And because of that, he was calm, collective, and able to score.
Marquette shooting above 60% from the field. Reynolds a jump shot. Marquette shot a season-low 34% in the first meeting. And an 8-minute scoring drought where Xavier was able to take control of the game in the first half and win that game by 8. The script is flipped in this one. The run is Marquette's. Ellenson against Bluiett finds a cutting Cheatham who's fouled by Reynolds.
And when you have a skilled big like Ellison who can get it in the post, he's a threat to score, but he's also a threat to make plays for his teammates. Good vision in the post, making a nice pass to Cheatham.
How about these baby blues they're wearing today? Pretty sharp, huh?
It's a nice little look right there. It's a nice little
looks
look.
a little bit like your suit coat.
I came baby blue Marquette down.
Johnson back in for Cohen. One more free throw for Cheatham. He's already got more points than he's had in each of the last 2 games. Into double figures. First player to do so. The Marquette lead is 8. Sumner sees an opening.
This young kid is such an exciting player. You have to be able to guard him in the ball screen, and if you don't, he finds a little seam and explodes to the basket.
Now with a dozen to lead Xavier. Here's Cheatham. Wilson around a Fisher screen. Fisher rolls to the bucket and the foul. That is number 6 on Xavier. Both teams into the bonus from here on out.
Right here, you have the isolation. He turns down the ball screen, just sees an opening. He saw the paint was wide open, and that's just a first step. Explosive first step.
Redshirt freshman from Detroit to Country Day High School.
Country Day in Detroit, where Chris Webber went to high school.
Shane Battier.
B.J. Armstrong.
Really good program. Fisher wants it against Reynolds. Luke Fisher outside to Cheatham on the drive. Back to Wilson with an up fake, got free and left it short. Wilson touched it last. Xavier ball.
But I like the move in Wilson. Didn't settle for the three-point shot. Lift up the defense on the pump fake and got into the mid-range game.
We're seeing Matt Help, freshman from Neenah, Wisconsin, getting some good minutes, trying to protect Fisher. They got into foul trouble in the first meeting, and his impact was minimized.
And right now, you have to go to Jalen Reynolds. He has a freshman guarding him. You have to post him up and get the ball to him.
That is a grown man against a freshman inside. Sumner launches and knocks it down. What a first half for Sumner, who's got 15.
Sumner is feeling it right now. Reynolds was posting up hard, and Sumner pulled up, knocking it down.
Johnson loses it out of bounds. And takes a seat immediately after, replaced by Sandy Cohen. So many times this year, the Xavier team has gone on runs, threatening to go on another within 3. It's Sumner finding Reynolds, who's fouled by Cheatham. Jalen Reynolds will shoot 1 and 1 on the other side of this break. This has been a good one, and it's just the start of a full day of hoops on FS1.
You both have.
All right, Rob, Marquette by 3 in this one. Xavier is chasing for the arm of the conference standings, and right now Edmund Sumner doing all he can to get him another win. 15 first half points.
One of the most explosive young freshmen in college basketball. Plays above the rim, can shoot off the bounce, and then he has the catch and shoot ability. He's just feeling it right now, Joe.
Now those 15 points, he's not missed from 3. Guy that played in the first 6 games last year before deciding to redshirt because of knee tendonitis and had the concussion that caused him to miss the first 2 weeks of January this year. Returned for the Marquette game, had 15 in that one. Already has 15 in this one.
Well, I need to make a correction. I said that B.J. Armstrong went to the same school as Sumner, and I was incorrect. He went to Brother Rice, and I don't want B.J. to get mad at me, former teammate, or any of his alumni, high school alumni.
Same part of the suburbs, though. I know where you're going.
No doubt.
So Reynolds missed the front end of the 1 and 1. 1 for his last 9 shooting free throws now. Tracy Carter out of the corner. And a long rebound that Bluiett's able to track down. Here's Bluiett on the push, finding Sumner. His 3. Rattles out, and Cohen runs it down. Ellenson popping. They leave him alone. He fires away, and Reynolds goes up for the board. Sumner pushing hard. Back outside Reynolds. Nifty dribble. And a jump shot that he tosses up there at the beginning of the shot clock. Chris Mack immediately points to his bench and says, "Get in there, James Farr." Ellenson off of the lob. Pounded out of bounds by Reynolds, but they call a foul on Miles Davis.
Very good recognition by Tracy Carter. Not wasting time. Saw the mismatch. Got the ball to Ellison immediately with a lob pass.
Two shots for the freshman from Rice Lake, Wisconsin. 7 points, 5 boards. So we mentioned the issues Coach Wojciechowski's team had in the first meeting, shooting against Xavier's defense. Totally different story in this one.
Yeah, and you need, I mean, it's obvious you need shooting if you want to go far in the tournament or you want to establish yourself as one of the leaders in the Big East. But Marquette makes up for it a lot of times with their defense and getting out in transition and with their offensive rebounding, in addition to their post-up. But if you don't make shots, you kind of make it difficult for your bigs because they can easily double team.
Bluiett for three. Got it.
You cannot help off of Trevon Bluiett. All he needs is a little space. He has a quick release, and once he catches it, he's letting it fly.
3 of 4 from outside today. The lead down to 2. Here's Carter, picked up by Bluiett. Fisher lobbing to the rim. Ellenson goes up and gets it. When he catches right there, game over.
That was very good. Tracy Carter couldn't get the ball. Xavier collapsing their defense. Fisher did the right thing by flashing, and now that created the high-low lob pass for an easy 2.
Bluiett screening for Sumner. Accelerates towards the rim. And they call an offensive foul. They get Sumner for his second. That's number 8 on Xavier.
Well, here's Tracy Carter. They're trying to get the mismatch, which they have. Everybody's collapsing in the paint. Fisher does the right job flashing. Leaves Ellison alone with Sumner guarding. Easy high-low pass for 2 points.
Ellison joins Cheatham in double figures. Couple of freshmen, each with 10. Even Fisher, who's 6'11", couldn't go up and get that one. The 8th Marquette turnover of the first half. They turn it over more than any team in the conference, 15 per game. Here's Bluiett stepping back on Ellenson. Tracy Carter, smallest player on the floor right now, timed his jump to get the board. He goes by Macura, switches hands, leaves it short. Xavier basketball.
Good move by Tracy Carter. I like it. He's being aggressive in transition. He sees he has a mismatch. He feels that he can blow by Macura. Just need the freshman to finish at the basket.
One of the youngest teams in the conference, one of the youngest teams in the country when you look at the guys that are their main contributors. Carter and Ellenson both on the floor right now are freshmen. Cheatham's on the bench, a freshman who's in double figures today. Even a guy like Fisher is only in his second year at Marquette. Cohen, a sophomore, on the floor right now. Up and down the roster, youth. Bluiett draws the contact and will shoot 2.
You know what I like about this game right now? Both coaches, Coach Mack, Coach Wojo, they're sticking to their game plan. Obviously, you can see in pregame, Xavier talked about let's get the isolations with Trevon Bluiett and Ellison guard him, and Wojo talked about let's get the isolation with Ellison and having their smalls guarding him, and we can take advantage of it. And they're both sticking to the plan.
Farr sits down as O'Meara comes in. Mentioned Cheatham on the bench. By the way, Cheatham with 3 first-half fouls, so you won't see him again in this half. My goodness, Xavier 1 for 5 from the free throw line. And his 13 free throws the other night. The win against St. John's. Find themselves trailing, but with the ball after an offensive foul. Fisher's second. So Fisher sits down, and Matt Helt, logging some good minutes in this first half, comes back in. With a 7-second differential in game and shot. It's Bluiett. Threw it up, couldn't get it. Shot clock turned off, and Marquette can have the final shot if they want it. Steve Wojciechowski clearly does.
Well, that was a forced shot by Bluiett. Came off of there, didn't really have a clear line to get to the basket. Should have slowed it, popped it out, ran it again.
Here's Ellenson. Big size advantage on Austin. Ellenson doubled. Got free, but travel with 1.5.
Very good call. Very good call. Referee should have called a little quicker. Ellison was trying to get to his step-back jump shot. His a la Dirk Nowitzki step-back one-legger, but he didn't see the double team come. And he should already know in this game, every time he touches the ball, there's a high chance the double team is going to come, whether he's on the post or on the perimeter.
Final seconds. Macura catches. Turnaround threes off the rim. Of course, JP would at least get close with that shot. Ellenson with 10 to match Cheatham for the Marquette lead. Edmund Sumner with 15 to lead Xavier. And despite 10 first-half turnovers, Marquette leading the number 6 team in the country by 4. Coming up at halftime, the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report. Rob Stone, Jen Jackson, Casey Jacobson on the other side. Welcome you back to Big East College Hoops on FS1. It's sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Be ready for anything winter throws at you. Marquette trying to pull the upset with a 4-point lead on Xavier. They're shooting 56% from the field, but they shot a season-low 34% in the first meeting between these teams. Edmund Sumner leading the way for Xavier with those 15 points as X trails by 4. We welcome you courtside to get you set for this second half. Joe Davis, Dickie Simpkins. You saw the numbers for Sumner. Let's take a look at some of the highlights for what he was doing. Really impressive first 20 minutes.
Well, he's a special young player with explosiveness. Here he is coming off the pinch post with the dunk down the lane. Pull-up J in transition. And then here's that Russell Westbrook-like explosion to the rim. And then the Twin Towers starting with Fisher. Security. Get that out of my house. And then the touch, the skill. And here we go. Ellison pick and pop. Versatility, patience, poise in the post. And they work well together.
One of the top front courts in the country. They average 28 per game together. They've got 16 together over the first 20. And they've helped Marquette lead the rebounding battle by 5 against one of the top rebounding teams in the country in Xavier. Off we go with the second half. Xavier starts with it. Here is Sumner with those 15 in the first half. They establish Reynolds inside.
Excellent execution by Coach Mack coming out at halftime. The ball screen, Reynolds rolling, and Trevon Bluiett, being a proved passer, delivers it for an easy dunk.
So Marquette, really good success on this end of the floor in the first half, and they go inside to Ellenson, who's fouled. We only saw, what, 2 possessions of the 1-3-1 in the first half?
Yeah, it was surprising. That was surprising that we only saw 2 quick shows of the 1-3-1. I thought that 1-3-1 has been very effective for Xavier in the games that I've seen. They run it well. They use their length, their quickness. Maybe Coach Mack is saving it more for the second half, and then you don't want to give a team a steady diet of one thing. I think Coach Mack is doing an excellent job switching up the defenses. But I expect to see more 1-3-1 as this game goes on.
Yeah, I don't think he ever wants it to become their base defense. But the closest they've ever gotten to that, against Marquette, first time they played, about 80% of the time Xavier was in that 1-3-1. Here's Sumner. I think that's his fourth dunk of the day to lead his way to 17 points.
When it's not broke, don't fix it. They went back to the play that you saw in the highlight that they ran in the first half, throwing it to Bluiett on the elbow, which you have to defend. You can't help off of Bluiett because he'll shoot it, and now he finds Sumner going to the basket for another dunk, Joe.
Ellenson against Abel. Gets doubled, fights through it, drops it in.
Look at Coach Joe, excited, fired up like he was a player at Duke. He may smack the floor at some point in time.
Yeah, I was going to say, if only Wojo could add a little bit of intensity, he could really fly. Macura, open look. That's the three.
Macura plays with so much high confidence. He plays like a veteran player, only a sophomore. And the biggest thing about it, his teammates believe in him.
Heavy dose of Ellenson in the second half so far. He screens for Cheatham. He fires away. Leaves it short. Macura couldn't handle it. It's Wilson with an up fake to get free. And then airballs the jumper. Fisher clears it. Cheatham lays it in.
That's just Marquette strumming out offensive rebounds.
Abel quickly the other way. That's not a good shot. Rebound Wilson. Wayne Wilson, uncontested foul. Bluiett called for his second.
Yeah, Abel came in transition and took a mid-range pull-up without his team really being down to provide some type of offensive rebound and positioning, which leads out on a fast break from Marquette.
First miss of the day at the line for the Golden Eagles. We're just getting started. Villanova, Providence when we finish.
And that's going to be a good game. That's going to be Villanova's coming into the dunk center trying to be on payback time to my boys.
Another offensive rebound for Marquette.
And that's unlike Xavier. They're a +9 team in rebounding versus their opponent,
which is 11th best in the country. Fisher against Reynolds. Gave it up for Wilson. And they get Macura for the touch foul.
Easy call, easy call. You can't put your hand on the defender. I mean, on the offensive player when they're making the drive. And as soon as you stick your hand on it, they're calling that foul. Point of emphasis for this year with the referees.
It's already the third on Xavier, less than 3 minutes into the second half. Cheatham off of the dribble handoff. Offensive foul. Cheatham's fourth. He's having a heck of a game, but now with those 4 fouls in.
Well, you can just see Miles Davis being a veteran. You can see how he anticipates, gets to the position that he needs to be to get that offensive foul. And that's a big hit for Marquette now with Cheatham coming out the game, sitting on the bench. They need him to add some of that perimeter shooting. He's been making shots this game.
It's like when you have a record round of golf going and you're 15 holes in and the rain comes.
Right.
Great game for Cheatham, but he's going to have to sit for a good chunk of this half for the 4 fouls. Beautiful, fine Reynolds. Bluiett knocks down the 3 to tie the game.
I like how both teams' bigs are skilled passers. Jalen Reynolds having patience, saw the double team and got it out of his hands quick and got it to the right person, the knockdown shooter, Trevon Bluiett.
Fisher can't hang on to a fastball from Wilson.
Yeah, that's a kind of tough pass to kind of be able to manage tight space. Wilson throwing it kind of, like you said, a speed ball bounces off Fisher's head.
Xavier hasn't led since the 11-minute mark of the first half as Ellenson blocks Bluiett's shot.
And Ellenson is not a very athletic big, has average athleticism, but he has long arms, and he was able to recover on that drive and block that shot.
Here's Davis. Tipped in the air, and the tallest player on the floor, Fisher, goes up and grabs it. Fisher wants it. Reynolds fronts him. Andy Cohen. Here's Ellenson. Quickly double. And then a foul. It was headed the other way if there was no whistle. Chris Mack and the sellout crowd of the Cintas Center can't believe it. It's foul number 3 on Trevon Bluiett.
Well, it's just easy call. You got to tighten it up, and once you don't tighten up and stick your knee, you get the call.
You can bring the fun of Daytona to your living room. Enter for a chance to win a catered Great American Viewing Party and a brand new TV. Visit foxsports.com/Daytona Day to enter. We are tied at 45. Bluiett having a great day. 8 assists for him. It's a career high. Let's see one of them right here. Take us inside it, Dickie.
Well, Professor D is going to show you how Trevon Bluiett right here on the elbow has become an improved shooter. They drop it down to him. Ellison has to play him. Once he can't help off a brush screen, and you find Sumner wide open for a dunk.
Double figures scoring for him again. There's 8 assists. Takes a rest here in a tie game. Inside to Ellenson. Defended by Gates. Wilson catch and shoot. Got it. And the outside shooting has been the difference today for Marquette. They've knocked down 6 of 10.
And this has just been a chess match going back and forth. Coach Mack, Coach Wojo, they're sticking to the game plan, going to the mismatches.
Miles Davis in and out. Cohen can't corral it at first. Second effort, got it. Bodies crash into the floor. Marquette looking to push. Xavier hustles back.
You have to get back to Ellison. Let him be a playmaker while he gets the offensive foul. Pushing his arm off, trying to push Miles Davis off. Miles Davis closing out to keep him from dribbling, and he uses his forearm to push off.
James Farr comes back in for Reynolds. Marquette by 3. They've won 3 of 4 after they went 2 and 5 to begin Big East play. Looking for their second top 10 win. They've already taken down Providence this year. Xavier trying to win a 5th in a row. Sumner goes by Cohen, slicing through to find Gates. Left it way short. Might have been tipped on the way. Ellenson. Fisher underneath for the slam.
Right there, again, you find Ellison with the mismatch. You allow him to be the playmaker of this team today.
Miles Davis gets fouled on the drive. Only the 3rd foul of the second half on Marquette.
When you have a very good passing big like Ellison, he can get in there and make very good interior passes to his teammate. Easy finish for Fisher.
That's one thing Marquette does really well is share it. Number 1 of the Big East in assists. Have a 5-point lead. James Farr from outside. Knocks it down.
Very good ball screen action. The veteran Miles Davis coming off, recognizing. Nice pass to Farr.
It's Ellenson facing up. Into Gates. Keeps his dribble alive. Back to Wilson. 10 to shoot. Cohen rotates it for Carter, who receives a screen from Fisher. Running out of time. Here's Wilson. Travel. Right in front of Jeffrey Anderson.
That's a good call. That's a good call.
Wojo's arguing.
Oh, that's a good call. He's coming off. Oh, no, I changed my mind. It looked like a wall. That slow motion. He went into a 1-2 step. You want your guys, you want your shooters to be able to go into a 1-2 step, catch and shoot.
Wojo's all over Tony Chiazza, and Chiazza's saying, I didn't make the call. I just happened to be the one in front of you. Evan Sumner. Miles Davis outside. A little bit short. And the foul on the rebound goes on Marquette.
Well, Miles Davis takes that shot. James Farr was in the post with Cohen guarding him. You want to kind of hold off on that shot, drop it down in the post. Let's play inside, outside. You can always get that shot.
There's a throwaway. Xavier hustling back. Nice job of transition defense. Prevent a fast break point. Wilson goes by Macura and gets fouled. Second on J.P. Macura.
That's the second personal foul, 15 foul. Marquette will inbound.
Well, that was just miscommunication by Macura. Jalen Reynolds was coming over to set a screen, and he was dropping a pass to him at the same time. One 3-1 zone of Xavier's is back in effect right now.
Sandy Cohen, clean look. And a foul on the rebound on Macura. That's his third. One thing you lose going to the zone is the ability to box out.
Absolutely, because now you have to find areas to box out. Macura getting in there trying to wrestle with Fisher.
Here's Carter. Ellenson the offensive board.
Another thing about the zone, you have the little guys on the back of the 1-3-1 having to do the boxing out.
Marquette trying to shoot him out of it. Wilson in and out. Reynolds finally clears. Here comes Xavier. Edmund Sumner working against Cohen. Sumner drives and gets fouled.
Xavier needed that type of shot attempt, something aggressive going to the basket. Last couple of plays, shooting jump shots. You have to monitor that as a point guard. Now we need to get something aggressive to the paint.
Say that he was in the act of shooting, so Sumner will have a pair here. Xavier 1 of 5 at the line today. Got 2 of 6. Sumner with a game-high 18.
When you look at Edmund Sumner's body, long arms, athletic, wiry. He gives you the explosion like a Russell Westbrook. He kind of reminds you a little bit of how Chris Dunn is playing for Providence. They were kind of similar when Chris Dunn was a freshman. It was like Edmund Sumner, but the one thing about Edmund Sumner, his jump shot as a freshman is much better than Chris Dunn's. This kid has the complete package right now. Needs to continue to get his point guard feel for the game improving.
Xavier in that 1-3-1. At the free throw line, Johnson hopping to the rim and banking it in.
We haven't heard from Juwan Johnson in a long time in this game. A nice bunny hop, aggressive move.
Sumner, nice find, James Farr. Ellenson might have gotten a piece. Carter penetrating the zone, kicking for Cohen, finding Ellenson. Marquette gaining confidence against this 1-3-1.
If there was any time for Marquette to be shooting the ball well, today on the road is the time they needed.
Bluiett steps back for 3 and responds with a big corner 3 ball. And Chris Mack takes a timeout. Trading punches in Cincy.
Well, here's right here, finding the open man, attacking the basket, Juwan Johnson, penetration, swing, and look at the big fella. 3-ball, corner, pocket.
Pac-12 basketball comes to Fox later today. 23rd ranked Arizona takes on Washington. Coverage starts at 4 Eastern on your local Fox affiliate. Streams live on Fox Sports Go. Good game there. Here early in February. March is up next. Already halfway through the conference slates. Other notes from around the country. Louisville has a self-imposed postseason ban for this season. They announced yesterday. Game follows us is Villanova and Providence, and Ben Bentel, who hurt his ankle against DePaul earlier this week. Game time decision. Daniel Ochefu doubtful for Villanova.
That'll be a big piece to the Providence-Villanova game if Ben Bentel cannot play today.
See, the Yale player made 30 consecutive shots. You ever get close to that?
30 layups.
Yeah, or 30 free throws in practice, maybe.
Yeah, 30 layups, not every day.
Tracy Carter to the corner for Johnson. Marquette filling it up from outside. The hot shooting continues.
Marquette shooting unbelievably behind the three-point line. 50% shooting from three.
Knocked down 8 from outside today. Here's Bluiett going by Ellenson with a tough finish and a foul.
The isolation, Bluiett being strong, making the body contact, and still finishing.
Marquette trying to pull the upset. Up 4 midway through this second half. Moments ago inside Wojo's huddle.
They're going to make good plays. We're going to make good plays. We have to make the tougher plays. We have to make the toughest plays. Excellent driving kick. Great driving kick. They're going to have one shot. Remember, pinch. Pinch. If they don't...
Well, you know, he talks about tough plays. Tough plays are more than just offense. Tough plays are defense also. And completing the defensive possession is boxing out. You heard Coach Wojo talk about pinch. Box out and pinch.
Free throw issues today for Xavier. They're 3 of 8 at the line. Bluiett, normally a good shooter, has missed all 3 of his free throw attempts. The foul away from the ball goes on Trevon Bluiett. That is his 4th. And it's number 7 on Xavier, so a 1-on-1 coming for Ellenson. So Bluiett has to sit down at the 10:31 mark, replaced by a freshman in Kaiser Gates with 4 fouls.
So now at 10:31, Bluiett goes out the game. This will be interesting here for this segment where he has to sit. Coach Mack will have to make a decision on how long he sits.
And another offensive rebound from Marquette. Out-rebounding Xavier, one of the top rebounding teams in the country, by 13. Ron Johnson, crossover, drive, and he gets fouled.
See, when you're a team that plays small ball, which I would consider Xavier playing a pretty small lineup, now you give the opponent the confidence to attack the basket, attack the rim, because you have no rim protection.
Yeah, when you go a little bit smaller, you struggle rebounding typically, although the Xavier team this year has been so good in the glass, almost getting doubled up on the boards today. 29-15 edge for the Golden Eagles.
And like you said, Joe, that's never normal with Xavier, a very good rebounding team. And I know Coach Mack preaches rebounding. They practice rebounding, rebounding toughness, physicality.
Abel trying to beat him up the floor, had his shot blocked. Only once this year has Xavier been out-rebounded. It was their long home loss against Georgetown a couple of weeks ago. Jalen Reynolds backs his way into Fisher. Hook shot might have gotten tipped.
It was interesting, that possession, Marquette did not send a double team. They allowed Fisher to play one-on-one defense.
Austin Gamble. Carter dribbles by him. Ellenson a face-up jumper.
Ellison shooting the ball very well. This Marquette team shooting it well. 53% from the 3 as a team today, and they only shoot, Joe, 34% for the season from 3.
Ellenson with a game-high 19. The lead is 7. Kaiser Gates for three. Knocks it down despite the closeout from Ellenson.
The pick and roll with the roll man coming up wide open. Gates catching and shooting. And Xavier is also shooting the ball well, 60% from the three-point line.
Ellenson got fouled by Austin. That is a tough matchup for Larry Austin at 6'2". Henry Ellenson, 6'11".
Well, the fans are mad because of that call. They can't believe it, but it's an easy call again. Points of emphasis for the referees. One of them this year, keeping your hands off of the perimeter player. Austin had both arms on Ellison out on the perimeter.
And earns the second. Marquette into the double bonus now. That was the 9th Xavier foul. Foul shooting will be key down the stretch. Makes both, and the lead back to 6. Ellenson will sit into the last time that happens today, replaced by Dwayne Wilson.
Joe, today is the first time I've ever seen Henry Ellison shoot consistently. Have a good shooting day consistently throughout the game. I know he can shoot, but a lot of the games that I've seen, he struggled a little bit.
Here's Reynolds. That's a goaltend. There's really, for Ellenson, it's kind of flashback to last Saturday against Butler when he went off for 32. Trying to find that consistency. Leading Marquette today. Marquette leading the game by 4 with 8.5 left. Fisher screens and rolls. Carter into the corner. Catch and shoot three is an air ball that Reynolds tracks down.
Excellent defensive possession for Xavier.
Sumner, floater, off the glass, rolls off. Reynolds the offensive rebound. Davis for three. And the foul goes on Dwayne Wilson. Right at the 8-minute mark.
Now Xavier giving Marquette some of their own medicine and what Xavier does best, attacking the offensive glass. Xavier with a small unit, Macura going on there against Wilson, attacking the glass. You saw Jalen Reynolds in the paint, attacking the glass, and you saw Gates keeping it alive on the glass.
And Cheatham comes in with 4 fouls. And J.P. Macura to the line for a 1-and-1. Bluiett remains anchored to that bench with 4 fouls himself. Macura into double figures. 2-point game with 8 left.
Well, right now, Coach Mack can afford to have Bluiett on the bench as this game is close.
Johnson, tough shot, no. Rebound Gates. Davis behind the back, inside, got it knocked away, but Gates follows it to tie it.
This Xavier team is as good as they are because they have guys that come off the bench and can provide production.
Here's numbers. Davis, Macura, Xavier leads for the first time since the 11-minute mark of the first half. Timeout, Marquette.
Kills defensively because we finally got some stops in a row, and they brought to bring Ellison back into the game. We have to do a great job of not playing and fouling defensively. We're defending with before in the last 4-minute deal. We were fouling way too much. We got
have gone on an 8-0 run to take their first lead since midway through the first.
Well, Gates coming in with production, coming up with some big plays, the three, the offensive rebound, and then Macura with the flip shot. That changed the momentum of the game and helped Xavier now have a 2-point lead with 7:14 left.
At a sold-out CINCINNATI Center where they've been so good this season. First team in the country to reach 20 wins. They did it on Wednesday night against St. John's. 3 teams have joined them since. Looking to make it 5 wins in a row. Marquette looking for its second top 10 win of the year. This would be a monster upset. Here's Ellenson. Hand off Wilson. Ellenson posting, and it's rolled right through the baseline. But they'll say that it was touched by a Xavier player, and it will stay with Marquette with 15 on the shot clock.
Well, I like Marquette's play right there. The dribble handoff with Ellison, work the ball all the way around so they could drop it back down to him in the post. They're not going away from what's been working, and that's getting the ball to Ellison and letting him be a playmaker, whether to score for himself or to find an open teammate.
21 points, 7 rebounds for him today. Cohen just barely gets it into Fisher. Cheatham on the floor with his 4 fouls. Drive into the elbow, got inside and banked it in. What a day for the freshman, Hanif Cheatham. And we're tied again.
And that's just what you call an acrobatic finish. Splitting the defense, finding an opening, and just acrobatic, putting it on the glass, and concentrating the finish.
Davis turns it over. Cheatham with a steal. Cohen gathers it, lobs it up. Too tall for Ellenson and out of bounds. They had numbers and couldn't take advantage.
And that's one of the plays that you come up with an empty possession. You have to be sure. I don't know if I'm throwing a lob to Ellison on that play. I'm taking it straight to the basket, making the defense have to commit on me.
With the numbers, take the sure thing. Right?
Take the sure thing. It was a 3-on-1. The defender started backing up towards Ellison.
Boy, Sumner had intentions of another dunk, but he was fouled by Sandy Cohen. Number 3 on him. 1-and-1 for Sumner.
And this is just an explosion right here. First step explosion, putting a guy in the back.
They'll say shooting foul. 2 shots have been Sumner. What a freshman season he's having. Put on 25 pounds of muscle during the offseason. Chris Mack said he did as good of a job changing his body during his redshirt year as anybody Mack has had in his time here. Reynolds followed it and got fouled.
Now that's the rebounding Xavier team that we've seen in the past. A team that's +9 in rebounding versus their opponent. Going down this stretch, being very aggressive on the offensive glass.
2 shots for Reynolds. It has been an adventure at the line for him lately. Makes that one. His first make in 3 attempts today. Sumner anticipated, knocked it out of bounds.
Sumner using the quickness, using the length, speed, anticipation to get his hands on that pass. You have to be careful. You can't be casual when you're passing it to the player that Sumner's defending.
Here's Ellenson against Gates. Stuck with him. Now Cheatham, 10 to shoot. Wayne Wilson spit it on Sumner. Great defense, Reynolds. Macura on the run out. J.P. Macura lays it in.
Joe, that transition breakout, if you're watching the game closely, was created by Jalen Reynolds with his ball screen defense initially, and then his defensive block in the paint.
Wilson Nice take and finish for Dwayne Wilson to quiet the crowd. Just when it seems like Xavier might be delivering that big blow, Marquette has seemed to have an answer each time. 2-point game. Sumner. Davis, clean look.
And that's just a veteran being a shot maker in the critical of the game.
And then a touch foul inside. It's the 10th Xavier foul. So 2 shots coming from Marquette as Kaiser Gates gets whistled for his second.
Penetration. Miles Davis did what he was supposed to do. Roll up. As the guards penetrate and roll up, have your hands ready, shot preparation, and knock it down.
Ellenson has made 7 of 8 at the line today. 22 points to lead all scorers. Is Johnson back into the game, replacing Cohen. Henry Ellenson with 1 more. Spun around and out.
And now, Joe, we're in that part of the game. The under 5 minutes left in the game. The critical. Everything is super critical right now. You have to be precise and efficient on offense and defense.
Sumner nearly dribbled it out of bounds. Gates got it. Now Macura. Johnson comes up with a steal. Cheatham baseline drive, reverse layup, no. Fisher the offensive board. He's fouled by Reynolds and will shoot 2.
Giving up an offensive rebound. Reynolds doing an excellent job on the ball screen defense, showing out big. Then he had to recover. Fisher already had the inside position to get that rebound.
And Bluiett comes to the scorer's table ready to come back in with his 4 fouls. As Luke Fisher hits the first. Number 3 Villanova, number 11 Providence follows us. If Xavier wins this game, then they'll be hoping for Providence win. That would mean Xavier would be tied with Villanova at the top of the standings. Line drive, free throw as Fisher into double figures. And the deficit down to 2.
Well, you better believe they're going to go back to Bluiett on the elbow pass. Run their options off the elbow. There it is.
Sumner rejected at the rim by Johnson. Cheatham dribbles through traffic and ties the game. What a turn of events. Reynolds down to the floor. And able to get a timeout. It looked like Sumner was going to thunder home a dunk to put him up 2 scores. Johnson rejected him. And Cheatham the other way to tie the issue again.
Well, Marquette wasn't going to let this happen to him again. They were tied and locked in on it, help side, and then Cheatham keeping it, knowing Bluiett has 4 fouls, and finishing in transition.
Lead in, Rob. Tied at 72, 3:40 left. The 67th meeting between these programs. The first met in 1958. How about our stats update? Sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. At 34% in the first meeting, the Marquette shot a season low. That included an 8-minute scoring drought. Today they're shooting above 50% overall, and against one of the top rebounding teams in the country, +7 on the glass.
Well, their shooting is helping Henry Ellenson be able to be more effective in the paint and pass the ball.
Macura, 3-ball, got it! What a design by Chris Mack out of the timeout to put Xavier back in front with 3.5 left.
Do you see how much faith Xavier, Coach Mack, his teammates have in Macura? Coming out of timeout in the critical tie game and draw up a play for him, and he has ice in his veins to knock down that 3.
Here's Fisher, extra pass Johnson. Behind the back on Macura. Cheatham cutting, hopping, puts it up and scores with a foul. Hanif Cheatham having a career game. And Marquette, a free throw away from tying it again.
Aggressive move by Cheatham, attacking the glass. Macura didn't give his body up. Now Macura has 4 fouls, but look at the faith they have in the young sophomore. Coming off, knocking down a 3. That's why Macura is one of my favorite players in college basketball that people don't talk about. The little things he does, and then coming up with confidence to take that big 3 in the critical of the game.
Cheatham responds with a three-point play. Tied up, 3 left. Sumner splits the double. It's Macura again. Good again.
Hashtag splash.
Wilson, tough shot, no. Rebound tracked down by Macura. Every possession critical right now. Inside at 2.5. It was tipped on the entry. Ellinson's got it. It's Cheatham who's fouled. And 2 shots coming for Hanif Cheatham as they get Miles Davis for his 3rd.
Fisher getting his hands on the ball. Everybody playing the ball screen with Edmund Sumner. The play before, he was able to penetrate and find Macura. That time, Marquette locked in on their ball screen defense.
Cheatham with 20. 4 short of his career high. Wilson sits down. Cohen back in.
Joe, when you look at this Marquette team, how big is it that your freshmen, Cheatham, Ellison, are coming up big for your team as freshmen? That is a big luxury to have. They're not playing like freshmen right now. They're playing like seasoned veterans.
Doing it in this atmosphere on the road. 1-point game nearing the 2-minute mark. Here's Bluiett. He's hit 5 threes today. Uses that reputation to drive and hit the floater.
Going back to the isolation with Bluiett, taking Ellison off the bounce.
Ten to shoot. Cohen finds Johnson. Juwan Johnson shovels it off for Fisher. No whistle. Shot clock winding down. They call a tie-up with 1 second left on the shot clock. And it will stay on this end of the floor with 1:29. Not much time to inbound it and get a shot off.
This needs to be a lob to the basket. You have to get Fisher or Ellison open in the paint. Lob to the basket, 1-hand tap.
Cheatham the inbounder. Fisher turns around, knocks it down.
They have to check that. They're going to have to check that. That's good. The referee are on it.
They'll go to the monitor to see if he got it off. Either way, what an incredible effort from Luke Fisher.
Big time shot. Big time effort. They're going to have to check this one out. No, I don't think he's going to get it. I don't think he's going to get it, but I like the recognition. I like the alertness in Fisher, but he's not going to get this one.
Doesn't take him long to wave it off. It's a shot clock violation, and it's a 3-point game with 1:26. See, the clock is 0. Ball still in his hand, still loading up.
Well, a very good veteran referee crew, making sure that they don't just go and continue to play. Go to the monitor and let's see.
Miles Davis comes and gets it, works his way to the free throw line, and knocks it down, as he so often does in the biggest moments.
The veteran, big shot taker and big shot maker.
Cheatham travels and turns it over with a minute two. Tough spot to inbound from Macura. Into Miles Davis. Inside of a minute. Cheatham defends him with 4 fouls. There's number 5.
Didn't need a foul right there. Didn't need a foul. You needed a lockdown defensive possession. That's 5 fouls on Cheatham.
Yep, he's gone, and he fouls Xavier's best free throw shooter, one of the best free throw shooters in the country. And in the double bonus, Miles Davis will have 2 free throws.
And look at Miles Davis, the veteran, with the nice floater, and he's telling everybody, I have this under control. He puts his hands up the coach. This is under control. And even though he didn't start the game, he's playing starter minutes, and this is why he's in the game and it's critical.
First time this year he came off of the bench. Coach's decision. Wow, a rare miss for a guy that shoots around 90% from the line on the year. As a team, Xavier below 50% at the line today. 1 of 2.
Down 6, you have to go quick. Not necessarily searching for a 3.
And they turn it over. Davis at the other end gets fouled and heads back to the line. The turnovers mounting and costing Marquette. Fourth foul on Sandy Cohen. The junior from Plainfield, New Jersey, at the line for 2. Xavier trailed this game from the midway point of the first half until midway through this second half. They trailed by as many as 9. They've come from behind and taken control and gone on a 7-0 run to take an 8-point lead. Timeout, Marquette.
James drove his RAV4.
Don't miss a single Big East basketball game this season. You can add the full schedule to your calendar by going to foxsports.com/BigEastTV. That would show you that Villanova and Providence comes up when we finish. Expecting more than 12,000 beyond capacity at the Dunkin' Donuts Center. And that game that follows us between number 3 Nova, number 11 Providence. What do you think of that one?
Well, it's going to be tough if Ben Bentel can't play the game at 100%, or if he can't play, if he tries to go, which it sounds like he is, and they have to pull him out because he's just not being effective. It's going to be tough, and believe me, Nova has their eyes on this game. They want revenge on this game.
2 weeks ago in Philadelphia during that snowstorm, Providence went in there and got an overtime win. Snapped Villanova's 32-game conference winning streak.
Gotta go quick.
Winning streak. Here's Wilson, 3-ball, knocks it down and brings Marquette back to within 5. They went quick and got 3.
Yes, you have to go quick in these type of situations. If you're going to go for a 3, you have to go quick.
All right, we welcome taking the courts out. What a game this has been. A high level on both sides.
Very exciting game. The energy and the atmosphere, transition, both teams getting it done. And it's making a lot of suspense here in these last 20 seconds.
I know you didn't get a ton of sleep last night with a long drive up here, but you had no choice but to stay awake with the way this game's been played.
Well, when you don't get enough sleep, if you want to stay awake, you have games like this. Big East basketball is back. They're playing at a high level. Definitely keeping me awake, Joe.
Yeah, well, Marquette looked like had a shot to pull the upset. Xavier's taking control down the stretch. Some solid free throw shooting from Miles Davis. After they struggled shooting over the first 35 minutes of this game or so. You saw they've got 4 of the top 15 free throw shooters in the conference, so take your pick.
Well, you want to try to foul Gates.
It's Bluiett, almost throwing it away. Instead, they let the clock run down, and Miles Davis throws one up. Well, Chris Mack arguing that it should be 3 shots. They'll say it was before the shot, and in the double bonus, it'll be 2 free throws.
And sometimes when you do this, you have to make sure that the referees have blown the whistle, because I've seen situations where guys have done that, the referee, and not anticipating a foul, didn't blow the whistle, and now you just throw a shot at it.
Yeah. Big one here. Try and make it a 3-possession game. No. Door left cracked open. Wilson driving. Got it off. Continuation. Bucket counts. And a foul.
That's a good call. I like it. Dwayne Wilson turning down the 3, keeping it in his hand, attacking the basket, and still gets the 3-point play. He just knocked down a 3. This time, he says, I'm going to continue to the basket quick, gets the foul, continuation, and now at the line to make this a 3-point play the hard way.
16 for Dwayne Wilson, single-handedly giving them a glimmer of hope. Off the front of the rim, gets the rebound. Johnson throws it up. No. Cohen called for the foul.
They got the offensive rebound off the free throw line, Joe, but Juwan Johnson catching it and kind of throwing up a quick shot that really wasn't sure. He threw it up hoping that it would go in instead of really having balance and being able to attack. Critical possession. They get the offensive rebound off the free throw line, a chance to make 2. And put them down by 2. Juwan Johnson gets it real quick and just flicks it up.
After the foul, Bluiett goes to the line. He's missed all 3 today. Normally a really good shooter. 2 for Bluiett. Here's Wilson. Offensive foul. That will do it. Extended that arm, and they whistled him. Marquette's going to fall just short of a road upset. The Bluiett will get fouled by Wally Ellingson, even though he's trying to run the clock out with 3 seconds. And it'll put Bluiett at the line for a couple more opportunities down to his total. Three Xavier players with 20 today. Sumner, Bluiett, Macura with his career high. And for Bluiett, it's another game of 15+. 22 of the 23 games this year he's scored in double figures, which is 9th straight with at least 15. Xavier's going to get its 5th consecutive win after a big-time battle from Marquette today. 90-82 the final. Chris Mack's team improves to 21-2 overall. 9-2 in conference play. They'll watch closely the game that follows us, Providence and Villanova. We send it to our Fox College Hoops studio now. Here's Rob Stone.
Well, Joe, here's why Xavier's going to...
All right, Rob, JP, so you guys at one point are down 9. You're down midway through the second half. What was the message in the huddles as you guys try to fight back?
You know, just to play with energy and play hard. At the beginning of the game, I don't think we had enough energy, and we were up a few points, but then they went on like a 15-0 run, and coming out of the second half, I think we played with much better energy.
Seems like you're always there when your team needs that scrappy play, needs a play to get the crowd going. Describe your game and how you try to play like that.
You know, I'm just trying to help my team out in every way possible, whether it's diving on the floor, getting extra possession, getting an offensive rebound, and I just do the little things to make the team better.
What is it about this group that separates them from, really good Xavier teams of the past, but we now see it 21-2, ranked in the top 5 for the first time? What is it that sets this group apart?
You know, hard work, and I think it starts in practice because we all have high energy in practice. There's never been a practice this year that coach got mad because we didn't have energy, and I think that's the main key.
JP, appreciate it. Good job today.
Thank you.
Let's bring in Chris Mack now. Chris, it's never easy, is it? I mean, St. John's Wednesday, a team that is without a conference win, plays you tough. Marquette leads you for much of the game. What did it take to pull out another win today?
Well, number one, give Marquette a lot of credit. We pride ourselves on the defensive end. We've talked a lot about, we keep account of layups, rhythm threes, and offensive rebounds of an opponent every game. And at halftime, generally that number should be 25 or 20. We want to shoot for 40 or less. It hasn't been the case the last few games. We go to halftime and I ask our guys what the number is, and it's 11. Yet we're down, whatever we were down, 4 or 5 points. They hit some tough shots, and give them credit. They played their tails off. The guys somehow fought through, hit some big shots at the end.
A lot of things are going well. 21-2 now, half game out of first in the conference. What do you need to see, or what categories do you need to see improvement to really be a special team down the stretch?
We have to defend better. I thought for 30 minutes, despite the score, we were doing a fairly good job. And they've got an NBA lottery pick out there. It's a very tough matchup for any team in this league. But then in the last 8 or 9 minutes, although we were scoring, we were porous on defense. Guys were getting to the rim. And if we want to be a team that we want to be, then we got to race that.
Imagine you're going to catch a little bit of that Villanova-Providence game.
I catch them all. I'll catch them all.
Thanks, Chris. Good luck. All right, Rob, back to you.
Well, Coach Mack and his team, the first in D1 to 21 wins. They improved to 9-2 in conference play now, just a half game behind Villanova. Again, Nova next on the road at number 11 Providence. The Friars in a 3-way tie for third place with Seton Hall, Georgetown. Marquette's lost.